Lastly, there is one point that I want to talk to you guys about, which actually you will require to know during December, but we talk about it here anyway. The point that I'm talking about are the national level mock tests. I'm talking, of course, about the DAM CBT4 and the Marrow NEET national mock. These tests have anywhere between 80,000 to 1,20,000 people participating in it, and that is why they claim that the score and rank that you get in these tests is representative of what you're going to score and rank in the NEET. And if you actually look at the top 10 people in any of these tests, then you will find that they are actually among the top 10 in the NEET as well. But I want to tell you that that is where the similarities end. If your rank is anywhere outside of the top 10, do not let that rank get to your head. Even if it is very high, don't think it can't drop, and even if it is very low, definitely don't think it can't rise. My rank in the CBT4, which was held on December 1st, was somewhere in the 6,000s, and my rank in the Marrow National NEET mock, which was held on 9th of December, was 8,000. So does that mean that in the last 20 days after 9th of December, I studied something that shot my rank up from 8,000 to 435? No. Your NEET rank and score is going to do justice to the hard work that you have put in throughout the year and does not need to have any relation to your score in these national mocks. But that does not mean you should not give these tests. The advantage of giving these tests is that they give you a feel of what the actual exam day is going to feel like, sitting in front of a foreign computer in a foreign place and facing an interface exactly like how the NEET is going to be. What this hopefully does is that it helps you remain calm for those 3 hours during the actual NEET, which in my opinion is the single most important factor that is going to determine your result. Even more important, I would say, than the hard work that you have put in throughout the year. Now, having said everything that I said about grand tests, I know that the thought of giving a grand test is a scary one. That is why we avoid grand tests all the time. It is 3 hours long, very exhausting, and every question that you don't know the answer to, even after you have read the topic, is like a direct stab to your self confidence, and you're expected to endure this onslaught of question after question after question 300 times. And all for what? A result that you're not going to be happy with anyway. You might score poorly in a subject that you thought you were good at. A friend of yours might score better than you even though he hasn't even completed enough subjects as you have. Or you may have a negative score in a subject. When PG preparation becomes such a big part of your life and routine, it is very easy to find yourself in a situation where how you feel about yourself for the next 2 weeks is determined by your last grand test score. Believe me guys, I have been through it and I know how it feels. It's okay to feel what you're feeling. I know it's uncomfortable, but that is exactly what this year is about. Day after day, every day, you have to push your comfort zone. Don't study for 3 hours and say that is the most I can do. That is not the most you can do. That is the most you can do comfortably. Do not lie to yourself. Do not make excuses. And do not go into this with the attitude of I'll study to the best of my ability or rank lag gaya to lag gaya. The number of medical postgraduate seats worth taking in this country are 10,000. The number of people studying wholeheartedly for this exam are 30,000. That is why you keep seeing your rank out of 30,000 whenever you give your Marrow Grand test. My point being that we don't even have enough good seats to accommodate the people who are studying for this wholeheartedly. So if you think you can go into this half-heartedly and still expect to get a seat, then I'm sorry to say, but you're already out of the race. I know it sounds harsh, but unfortunately that is the sad reality of our country. And all I want is for you guys to be better than your best. This is the year you will redefine what your best means. You know the silver lining to having an exam that is so difficult? It forces you to become a better version of yourself in order to crack the exam. It introduces you to a capacity that you never knew you had. So when you come out on the other side having cracked the exam, you are certain that you belong among the best of the best, and you are certain that you are much more capable than the person you were 1 year ago. That is the mindset that you need to go into residency with. I know guys, it can be very stressful to live on the edge of your comfort zone every day for a year, but for a moment I want you to think about this. How many years do you think are you going to spend on this planet? 70, 80, 100? Now tell me what percentage does 10 months make of that lifetime? 10 months is a very small time relative to the rest of your life. And I don't think it is unfair of life to ask of you 10 months of discomfort and hard work so that you can earn for yourself a lifetime of comfort and fulfilling work. On that note guys, I will conclude this video. I really hope that these videos are helping you, and if you're finding these videos helpful, then please share it with a friend you know who's going through the same journey. As always, I'm available for any doubts you may have. All the best and happy studying.